In a recent interview on Zoom, Bob spent a lot of time on Zoom after his release, right? In a recent interview on Zoom, Baba Mutulu said, "It's a glorious struggle, and I wouldn't be anybody but who I am, sacrifices and all." As we invoke his spirit into the space today, I call for us to remember what he fought for and his place in belonging. See, he belonged to himself. Born as one man who reclaimed himself in the spirit of self-determination. He belonged to his mother who he loved dearly. And now that Mutulu is being birthed into the ancestral realm, he belongs to us all. We who loved Mutulu. He belongs to those who call him Baba, Grandpa, Uncle, Brother, Comrade, Friend, Doc. He belonged to the people that fought day in and day out to commit to his freedom. He belonged to the people who organized concerts and performed at them on his behalf. He belonged to the people who visited him behind the walls. He belonged to those brothers he mentored behind those very same walls. To the people that he healed and guided. To the people who delivered petitions to the front door of the Department of Justice in D.C. To the people who called him his comrades when y'all were young and hungry and fly and hustling. And I see y'all still fly, y'all still hustling. He belongs to the children who raised his name during Libation in their classrooms, to Napo and MHBM, to BLA and Ghana, to Los Angeles and New York, to New Africa and beyond. Mutulu welcomed many into his heart. He loves some like they were his very own family. He is a true example of how loving people as a life rule will guide you to true freedom. And just as Mutulu welcomed many of us, I welcome you today to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Mutulu Shakur. See, we are family, bonded by revolutionary love, bonded by what Mutulu thought was right until his very last day in this physical body. Love, peace, and Black solidarity. See, we are all Mutulu because of his example. We all now, more than ever, stand with the spirit of endurance, stand with the spirit of strength, stand with the spirit of sacrifice, of love, of freedom, and most importantly, the spirit of liberation. See, this is a celebration. This is a time to remember. Love is how we honor him, with what we remember. With that, we remember the mantra that will keep his legacy moving forward. When I say straight ahead, you say, like Mutulu said, straight ahead. With that, Asante Sana, Black love always, thank you and welcome.
Free the land! Free the land! Free the land! Free the land! By any means necessary. My name is Aisha Owafemi. I, along with my Baba Uncle Akiyele Umoja and my brother Aras Levy, will be the MCs or hosts for this amazing homegoing for Baba Dr. Mutulu Shakur. But first, I want to bring Baba Kwame Katamara up for libation. By any means necessary.
As we all know, libation is an invocation of spirit. We know that libation has been an exercise that African people have been doing for thousands of years. We know that ultimate reality takes the first drink. God. Ishanti of Ghana and Porto called God Yami. Of the Congo, the Waka people the Jia, the Congo people of Angola and Zambia, Dinka, Sudan, Joe, the Lagam of Mali, and the Timbuktu of Mali. We also know that in the Islamic world, Allah, the Christian world, Yahweh, Elohim, and Al-Shaddai. We know that when we do libation, there's always a command of authority. In Haiti, the word was Ayabo. For the Yoruba, it was Ashe. For the Akam, it was Asad. And for those of the East African trade language in Kiswahili, it was Risa. And Christians say Amen. I want you to be able to say those commanding words in whatever tradition you subscribe to. So the first drink is to ultimate reality. The second drink will be for all of the sheroes and heroes of the continent of Africa who fought enslavement and colonization. The next drink is for those who fought in North America, Central America, the Caribbean, and South America. Now we get into the modern world. The founders of the New African nation, modern New African nation here in America. I'm going to announce next. Primo Moore, Robert Williams, Amari Gaido Deli, Herman Ferguson, Alonzo de Bolillo, Dar Al-Bukhari, Anwar Shah, otherwise known as Papa Wells. We also want to announce the second tier of leadership of freedom fighters, who worked also closely with Dr. Mutulu Shakur, Dr. Shogun Mundo, Nahanda Asuke Wigwam, and Baba Ahmed Tashaka Olufemi. It's important to know that we also acknowledge that we have our personal heroes and freedom fighters, so we give a drink to them. We also know that we have political prisoners still, prisoners of war, and exiles. We salute to them, drink to them. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to bring in the honored ancestors of Dr. Mutulu Shakur. However, the words of authority that I want us to use is Mutulu's words himself. Stiff resistance and straight ahead. So when we call out those names, each one individually, stiff resistance and straight ahead. Ruth Lloyd. Eddie Lloyd. Trinity Lloyd Sr. Trinity Lloyd Jr. Dolores Porter. Soledad Shakur. Mutulu Shakur. Zaid Shakur. Wakil Shakur. Sahib Jabbar. John Tiara Alma. Bamani Suli Ali. Afeni Shakur. Tupac Shakur. Yafael Pula. Ruba Suli Ali. Salome Amir Muhammad. Yakazigwe Taima. We have brought the family forward. Amota Tutadinga, Mahulu Kwathiba, free the land, free the land, free the land, free the land. Black Office Resistance, free them all. Family is here.
concerning about performing. Now we're going to have a musical tribute to Her Honor, Sunny Ali.
Greetings, everyone. It's good to see all these beautiful faces out here. Tonight, I will be singing a song called Breaths for Mutulu. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the water. Those who have died have never left. The dead are not under the earth. They are in the rustling trees. They are in the groaning woods. They are in the crying grass. They are in the moss rocks. The dead are not under the earth. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the water. Those who have died have never left. The dead have a pact with the living. They are in the woman's breast. They are in the wailing child. They are with us in our home. They are with us in the crowd. The dead have a pact with the living. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the water. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the water.
everyone who can stand is able to please stand. So my uncle Mutulu was many things. Among those, he was a conscious citizen of the Republic of New Africa, which I am also, and so are many in this room. So we're going to say the New African Oath. I will ask that you raise your right fist, face the flag, and repeat after me. For the fruition of Black power, for the triumph of Black nationhood, I pledge to the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa, and to the building of a better people and a better world, my total devotion, my total resources, and the total power of my mortal life. Free land, free land, free land, by any means necessary. I will now call my sister Keisha up.
Greetings, family. You know, our freedom songs are part of our cultural trust, our inheritance. They're in the blood and the DNA of our movement. My son and I will be sharing Ella song, and I hope you all will sing along and clap along and participate. Ella's song is actually a compilation of Ella Baker's words, assembled and put to music by Dr. Bernice Johnson Reagan, founder of Sweet Honey Rock. So, as time ago I did a project once, she was like, you know you grew up in African if your mama plays Honey in the Rock in your house, like every day, you know you grew up. All right, y'all. So clap along, sing along. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Come on, y'all. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. One more time. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Y'all got it. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Until the killing of black men, black mothers, sons is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers, sons. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. That which touches me most is that I had a chance to work with people, passing on to others that which was passed on to me. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. To me, young people come first. They have the courage when we fail. And if I can but shed some light as they carry us to the gate, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. The older I get, the better I know that the secret
Free the land. 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 By any means necessary. I say. I say. I say. Oh. Somebody call upon all the members of New African People's Organization who are present. Come on, get on the stage with me. I'm going to go back a little bit. I asked y'all to clap this is a celebration of life. Celebration of life. And in an African context, when we salute our elder, our warrior, our loved one, that elevates them even higher on their journey. So we celebrate today. You know, as Doc used to say, we might be juggling and struggling too. You know, because we miss him, right? But this is a celebration of his great life, beautiful life. Now, something funny happened. We're about to do this 8-bowl ceremony, and I put substances in here before the ceremony started. And the gin just disappeared. Doc up there celebrating in heaven. The water just disappeared. Either it disappeared or somebody is janky up in here. So we had this 8-bowl ceremonies that we've been doing. Comes from the house of Umoja that represents different elements of our life. And so we're going to have different ones of our folks who know, love, and respect Dr. Mutulu Shakur who do this ceremony. Ashe. Ashe.
Greetings, everyone. I stand here today as a overfame to pay honor and respect to the life and legacy of Dr. Mutulu Shakur. The first element in our 8-bowl ceremony is strong drink. In our great-grandmother's generation, right? It might have been that moonshine, right? I know about that moonshine. In our grandparents' generation, it might have been that Cisco, right? In our parents' generation, I think I used to hear about that Mad Dog 2020. And we know in my generation, I think we was pouring that Henny. But to Dr. Mutulu Shakur, strong drink, which represents that inner strength that is passed down from our ancestors. And he had to have a lot of inner strength in terms of the trials and tribulations that he encountered, but also the trials and tribulations that he overcame. So today, we stand on his shoulders as an ancestor. So the next time that you pour out a little drink, remember Dr. Mutulu Shakur. Honey.
these things look alike. I chose honey. I love me some Dr. Mutulu Shakur. Tulu. Tulu. And when I think of honey, and I think of the quality of honey, when you taste it, it stays with you. It stays on your tongue. It sweetens your life. Tulu sweetens some lives. Some lives in real life. And I think of the fact that when Mutulu was captured, I was pregnant with my last child, Nathan Nefertiti. And I had the occasion to go up to New York. I'm not going to spend a long time. I know I'm trying to lecture us. But I just got to get it out because I think of him, and I went to his trial, and I brought Nathan Nefertiti with me, and he had never seen him. And the next day, he said, I love him. You know, he loved some passion, right? He loved hard. And that made the sweetness so much more important in his life. Tulu struggled for his people because he loved his people. And the sweetness that surrounded him when he talked about this struggle will be reflected in the tasting of this honey. Dr. Mutulu Shakur, Tulu, we love you and we feel the sweet times.
All right. I'm missing my own. What is this? Family. All right. Y'all, line. Okay? The next element is line. Big check. Makes you suck your face in. Right? And when you think about line, you think about how it moves through you, right? It hurts a little bit, but you also want it. You need it, actually. And that line comes after honey because you need a little bit of sweetness to make the bitterness easier to swallow, right? Now, in this ceremony, line represents bitterness and betrayal, right? These are parts of our lives that change us. Baba Mutulu experienced so much bitterness and betrayal, right? But he had that honey to help, right? Not only did he have that honey to help, but Baba Mutulu shows love for the people through bitterness and betrayal. He shows love for the people and a constant perseverance through bitterness and betrayal, sometimes because of it. And my ask of you is to remember that love for the people that Baba Mutulu had. That ability to move beyond and through the bitterness and betrayal that has come, that will come. Ashe.
Free the land! Free the land! Free the land! Free the land! By any means necessary. Oh, I skipped one. Free the land. Let's do one again. Free the land! Free the land! All right. Man, I met Mutulu when I was young. I didn't have any gray in my hair. It was all dark. I was young. I was introduced to him by Tani, and I created a Acupuncture at a party. And I was collecting the money at the party. And he had all kind of swag. His eyes sparkled. He was that dude. You know that dude that comes into the party? Everybody wants to know, who's that? And he was consistent to that. So I am doing salt. And salt symbolizes consistency and the variety of life.
Well, Brother Mutulu definitely was about variety. He had friendships, comradeships, alliances with everybody. All right, he just wanted to make sure you were fighting for freedom, right? But he was consistent. That what was so impressive to me is how he went into prison and was consistent. I still can't wrap my mind around that. But he stayed consistent. So he experienced variety with all the brothers that were in prison, but he was consistently a New African. Now, normally when we talk about this, we don't talk about necessarily changing your environment, right? He was a New African, he stayed consistent, but he brought other New Africans out of that prison. Man, Akinyele and Watani and I were trying to talk about it because my husband remembers everything, and I have CRX. You know CRX? Can't remember. So we were trying to figure out when this program was. I can't even tell you whether it was Kwanzaa or Black History. I don't know what it was, right? All I know is he transformed that room. So there was nobody in that room that was captured. For that moment, everyone was free. I showed a video, PowerPoint, of the New African Scouts and Kilongo. The excitement in the room was electric. The way it feels at a really good Kwanzaa. And I don't know how Brother Mutulu did this. He had prisoners wanting to raise money for Kilongo. See, he wasn't just consistent in his walk. He was consistent in winning people over to our liberation. I know many of us are hurting, but we have to stay consistent. We have to stay principled. Mutulu used to say that if you were principled, you were predictable. I want to be more like Mutulu. Ashe.
I have cayenne pepper that represents the hot and critical times. I never got the opportunity to meet Dr. Mutulu Shakur in person, but I was a part of the Shakur Squad, the organizing team that led the Free Mutulu Now campaign. And those hot and critical times. And when we faced the unpredictable, our parole losses, it was Mutulu's messages to us that filled our heart and kept us fighting. We were at our ideological conference exhausted and tired, and he called us, and he called our names, and it was enough for us to keep fighting. Cayenne pepper represents those hot and critical times when our ability to be resilient is tested in the face of the tragedies and crises of life. And certainly, Dr. Mutulu Shakur faced many a hot and critical time. And throughout his life, demonstrated this ability to withstand the difficulties that attend a revolutionary life. During the hot and critical times, the Battle of New Bethel, it was Mutulu as a teenager that shielded his mentors to Ferguson as police bullets riddled the meeting there, trying to turn it into a massacre. In the hot and critical times when the government flooded our communities with dope, it was Mutulu and the revolutionary healers of Banner, of Lincoln Detox that stood up and declared, we will fight heroin and methadone addiction by any means necessary. When the hot and critical times, when the government attempted to destroy our movement through COINTELPRO, it was Mutulu and Afeni who launched the counteroffensive, the National Task Force for COINTEL litigation and research. Thank you. That's right. When it was the hot and critical times of the Wilmington 10, the RNA 11, Geronimo Giajaga, Herbert Ferguson, Assata Shakur, and other Black Liberation Army prisoners of war, there was Mutulu on the front line fighting for their freedom. His resilience never wavered in the 36 years of his capture, often mentoring and transforming the lives of young men facing their own hot and critical times. In the face of these critical and hot times, Dr. Mutulu Shakur was determined, decisive, and dedicated. And as an embodiment of this oft-repeated motto, stiff resistance, straight ahead.
My name is Sophia Omari, and I also met Mutulu when all my hair was black. I was young in the movement, new to the struggle, and I met this giant, this brother who was doing so much for the struggle of our people. So when they asked me which element I wanted to talk about, I chose water. Because that's who he is to us. He is the life of our movement. And we know that water is key for all life. Nothing lives without water. Water heals, which is why in the 8 bowls ceremony, it comes after cayenne pepper. Like those high critical times, you need water to help you heal and move through. And we know that Mutulu was a healer. So many amazing and wonderful things have been said about this brother. I don't want to repeat them. But I will say that if our struggle is going to live on, we must follow his example. He found his purpose. So it didn't matter where he was going to live his purpose. They could lock up his physical body, but his spirit was everywhere. His spirit is still everywhere. Everywhere. Just like water. It flows, y'all. It can't be stopped. I'm sure it can't be stopped. When something blocks its path, what does it do? It either goes around it or through it. That's what this struggle is. And that's who Mutulu is. Long live our brother, our hero, our ancestor, our warrior, brother Dr. Mutulu Shakur.
Represents two things. First, it was used as a commerce and trade before colonialism in Africa. So seen as an institution builder. And as we heard, Baba indeed built institutions. It definitely is an institution. It also was used in medicine and has its medicinal purposes to heal. And of course, of all things we think about Mutulu, we definitely know that Baba was a healer. And so I'm like, I get to do the Mutulu of the 8th circle. Because we exactly say Baba was our palm role. So we've heard about the institutions that Baba was able to build, from Banner to Napa to Harlem Acupuncture, and his embodiment of liberation and freedom came forth from these institutions that we built. Through his love, his sacrifice, and his works, we continue to stand on the shoulders of that. And while behind the wall, 36 years didn't stop Baba's work, and he continued to build. Through thug life, our people and knew that his impact was necessary. So through the institutions he built, the techniques he shared, Baba Mutulu was our palm oil. He healed our communities. And not only that, I would definitely say that Baba Mutulu was medicinal in his teachings, in his sharings, and in his approach. Baba Mutulu was one of the first political prisoners in prisons of war that I had the opportunity to write to and had the opportunity to meet while he was in Coleman. He grounded his work in love. He is love and those stories of love. And so through writing Baba Mutulu, I had an absence and we got into a really good rhythm. And then I had an absence through the loss of my brother, and I was apologetic of the fact that I hadn't written him because I ended up getting like another letter, and I was like, wow, my bad, Bob, I haven't written. And I shared why, and he was apologizing and ministering through his words back to me, and it just like humbled me immensely because I'm like, wow, how? Baba was 3 years old when, I was 3 years old when Baba was incarcerated. And for him to be healing to me, ministering to me through his words on paper, and then for me to have had the opportunity to fight for him, to love with him, and to show that he indeed needed to be free and we were able to do that, I was just deeply honored. And so I present palm oil to represent Baba as a healer, as an institution builder, and
I'm bringing the coconut. So, I was sent into the Atlanta Fed to meet Dr. Mutulu Shakur. As soon as I got there, after sizing me up and analyzing me, he immediately began teaching me and working me like a mule. So I became executive producer and manager for the Data Struggle Project, and we just started moving forward with that particular project. So what it did for me was a blessing, and that's what the coconut represents. Okay, in that project I met so many people, and in him himself, he taught me about me. He analyzed me, he told me about myself, and I learned and I grew, and I'm so, so grateful for this blessing. So the coconut represents on the spiritual the blessing, the good luck, the abundance, the prosperity, fertility, and protection. And the breaking of the coconut represents oneself humbling themselves to God. It is used as a conduit for divination on the spirit realm. And as far as health, which Mutulu was, it promotes long life, it lowers blood pressure, it reduces heart disease and memory loss, and also the wrinkles. So I honor my brother, my friend, my teacher, and I salute him. Thank you.
Thank you for the 8-vote ceremony. And on to the next one.
usually the elder would say, they will take these bowls and break them up by his behalf, as this was his last annual ceremony. Yes.
land. Free the land. Free the land. Free the land. I like that one there. Straight ahead. Now, like Mutulu said, he's been on our case now. Straight ahead. Straight ahead, like Mutulu said. Come on, y'all. Sharpen up. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Free the land. Free the land. Free the land. By any means necessary. Next, we will have Colombo Academic and Cultural Institute. You heard that Dr. Shakur is an institution builder. I say is because when you have ancestors like that, they keep on working with us. He gonna still, his name gonna be invoked anytime we gotta do certain things. One of the things Mutulu was big on was educating folk. Whether it was through African political science, whether it was acupuncture, whether it was self-defense skills, he was always educating folks. So we're gonna ask next the Colombo Academic and Cultural Institute to come in and provide a tribute to Baba Mutulu Shakur. He actually had the opportunity to talk to them after he came home. They had been studying about him all year. So I'm hoping they can give me the signal that they are ready to come in. Colombo, let's greet them with a strong hand. Colombo and one alumni. Two alumni.
All right, we go. Look at you. Stand.
Give him a hand while they. reflections, and I call my cousins up, I would like to read the obituary. You can follow along in the program. Dr. Mutulu Shakur, a highly esteemed acupuncturist, healer, revolutionary, and leader in the Black liberation movement, peacefully passed away on Friday, July 7th, 2023, at the age of 72 years old. In 2 days, it will be his birthday, August 8th. Relax. He courageously battled multiple myeloma, a blood cancer that damages the bones and kidneys, since 2019. In December 2022, he was released on parole from federal prison. That time afforded him the opportunity to spend his remaining days surrounded by loved ones. Having endured nearly 37 years of incarceration, his profound legacy will serve as a timeless inspiration for future generations. Born Jarrell Wayne Williams on August 8, 1950 in Baltimore, Maryland, Dr. Mutulu Shakur was raised in Jamaica, Queens, under the loving care of his blind mother, Ms. Dolores Porter, who waited for her son to be free before she transitioned. It was within the struggle of helping his mother navigate an unjust social service system that his political consciousness awakened. At the tender age of 16, he joined the New African Independence Movement, and in the late 1960s, he actively participated in the Revolutionary Action Movement, a Black nationalist group advocating for Black self-determination and socialist change across the nation. Driven by his unwavering commitment to the cause, Dr. Mutulu Shakur was a conscious citizen of the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa. He was a leader of the Black Liberation Army and worked closely with the Black Panther Party. He was a founding member of the New African People's Organization and Malcolm X grassroots movement, acting as a pillar of strength and leadership. While his revolutionary activism influenced countless lives, Dr. Mutulu Shakur also made groundbreaking contributions as an acupuncturist and was affectionately known as Doc. After receiving training in Canada and China, he obtained his license in California in 1979. Dr. Mutulu Shakur practiced holistic medicine with unwavering dedication, working tirelessly to empower his community. His journey started at Lincoln Detox, a program dedicated to treating addiction. Established in the South Bronx in 1970, this program was the brainchild of a collaboration between revolutionary healthcare professionals, members of the Black Panther Party, the Young Lords, and individuals struggling themselves with drug addiction, all united in their pursuit of effective treatment. Dr. Mutulu Shakur served as executive director and pioneered the use of acupuncture in treating withdrawal symptoms. His innovative 5-point protocol, which remains widely used in addiction treatment today, brought relief and healing to countless individuals. In the late 1970s, he co-founded and co-directed the Black Acupuncture Advisory Association of North America, BANA, and the Harlem Institute of Acupuncture, both established during a time when acupuncture faced legal challenges in New York. Dr. Mutulu Shakur's influential work in acupuncture continues to resonate in clinics and treatment centers across the globe. In 1988, Dr. Mutulu Shakur faced a profound legal ordeal. He was convicted for leading a group of revolutionaries involved in a series of expropriations in New York and Connecticut in 1981. The charges were brought against him under the Conspiracy to Violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, and included his role in the liberation of fellow activist Assata Shakur from a New Jersey prison in 1979. Ashe. While incarcerated, Dr. Shakur actively engaged in several prison programs and served as a mentor to numerous individuals within the system. He dedicated himself to preparing many young men on how to navigate life in prison and successfully transition to life after their release. Dr. Shakur was deeply influential in the social and political messaging of his son's creative output. Ever present as a mentor and father, even while imprisoned, he was instrumental in developing the Thug Code, which created a framework for the brothers' vision to create a social movement with the group Thug Life as the voice. Dr. Mutulu Shakur is survived by his 6 children: Maurice Moprim Shakur, Talia, Talib Shakur, Nicole, Aize Jama Everett, Setua Sect Kai Shakur, Brandon, Nzinga Shakur Ali, and Chinua Mutulu Shakur. Additionally, he is fondly remembered by his 6 grandchildren, Nzinga Afeni Shakur, Malik Mutulu Shakur, Cheyenne Kai Harding, Tyrone Campbell, Cameron Ramel Jackson, and Mia Voigt. His loving sisters, Sharon Howell, Janice Ruth Williams, Asada Shakur, and Yasmin Fula. His brothers, Sekou Odinga Dekwi, Bilal Suni Ali, Cecilio Chui Ferguson L, and Watani Tahimba Ahadi. Nieces and nephews, Nicole Howell, Sharon N. Williams, Tyree N. Williams, and Chandra E. Williams Phillips. And his godchildren, Aisha Tio Bafema, Chaka Zulu, Iras Levy, Zaid Akinchigum Sefu Akinyela, Kamal Ayube, Sule Majid, Malika Majid, Aisha Jabbar, Nora Hasna Majid, and Mohammedan Majid. His former wife, Bikini Shakur, and his son-in-law, Gregory Jackson, who he named Bahani Lajah, are also cherished members of his family. Dr. Shakur was preceded in death by his mother, Dolores Porter, his revolutionary and spiritual fathers, Saladin Abba Shakur, Herman Ferguson, and Sonny Abubadika Carson. His son, Tupac Amaro Shakur, godson, Yafei Fula, his brothers, Lumumba Shakur, Zaid Shakur, Wakil Shakur, and Shaheen Jabbar. His sister, Falani Nandi Suni Ali, and his former wife, Afeni Shakur, a remarkable political activist, philanthropist, and Black Panther. Dr. Mutulu Shakur is also preceded in death and survived by many of his valued comrades. As we honor the life and legacy of Dr. Mutulu Shakur, let us remember him as a healer, an unyielding revolutionary, and an advocate for social change. His contributions as an acupuncturist and his unwavering dedication to the Black liberation movement will forever inspire generations to come. May his spirit of resilience and commitment guide us as we strive for a more equitable and just world. Straight ahead! Straight ahead, like Mutulu said. I would now like to bring my cousins up for reflections. His children, Mokreem, Talib, Tupac, Isaac, Setua, Nzinga, and Chinua. Like Mutulu said,
Peace, everybody. Peace, love, and peace again, everybody. My brothers and sisters and I are completely proud to stand here. As a bloodline, as a love example, he amazing Dr. Mutulu Shakur. Everyone who spoke previously did a wonderful job of explaining and describing the spirit of the Father. Thank you for being a highlighter for that story and legacy. One of the definitions in the dictionary of relative is something that you trust to tell your story. Trust you all. Thank you all for being able to tell my fucking story. It's hard, amongst other things, to be able to live in revolution with children, but it's hard to share it with the world. I've been always gracefully sharing parents before, but today I see the blessing in it. I see the blessing of having an extended family, of applause.
he was given the care he needs. I just didn't want life to go on with someone who's in distress. He has a story for us and for that until we have I would like to speak of my father had a compacted love, concentrated love inside of him. That was so concentrated that he was so able to love each of you individually and as a whole, and also give us exactly the love that we needed individually and as a whole. Sharing, I was there sharing my father, sharing our father with everyone. Rarely felt like we were expected to sacrifice, because the time he spent with each of us, he definitely gave his 100% love. So there's the other saying that grief is love that has no place to go. Today, we're not filled with heaviness and grief because Mutulu left his love on the table. And I'm really grateful for that, for teaching us how to love. My father was an eternal parent in my family. Even with his absence, he was the father. He was the tape of my family. And he was always there, even if it was just the 45 minutes I could visit, the 3 minutes on the call. That 6 months I had with him when he came home, he left it all on the table. And he's done amazing things. You guys have listened, you guys have seen it. And one of the things I'm more proud of is his relationship with his grandchildren, the way he has poured into his 4 grandchildren, and nothing was left. Nothing was left unsaid. Nobody here feels the emptiness or any one more day or one more thing. So proud that he is, so proud and happy that he's with his brothers and his sisters and his other child and his ex-wives and all the wives he's had. My grandmother passed 2 weeks before my dad did. She stayed alive, blind and all, struggling through the nursing system, the nursing care systems. But she said, I'm going to stay in this prison till I let my son out of that prison. And she did. She stayed alive until she was 92 years old. They got to love each other. His sister was able to see him. He was able to be made to rest by his brothers, his grandchildren, his sons, in the same land as Phil, as his other sister. I mean, we have so much to be grateful for today about the life of Mutulu Shakur. Again, there's a bunch of accolades, and everybody knows the historical career. But my father was a wonderful, gentle, loving man that did not hide or he wasn't shy with his love. He overly loved, overly adorated us, and overly gave us what we need individually. For me, that's what I'm most proud of. Is to be the daughter of Mutulu.
Not much of a public speaker, the situation and I'd like to thank everybody for coming, all the support that you have given to our family and each other. Everything that has come before us, we definitely appreciate it. I'm learning more about my father through all of y'all. A lot of faces up in here, y'all know me, and I thank God for embracing me into the fold of the Shakur family. It's been a long travel. Finding out that 10 years ago, we are a part of the Shakur family is a beautiful thing. When I tell you my brothers and sisters leading me with open arms, I really mean that. Like the floodgates of love really embrace it. It's real. It's real. The travel of not knowing who your father Mutulu Shakur. And I know there are a lot of brothers that's in the audience now that's been in prison with them. He linked me with them, and these are my extended brothers that's really teaching me about what my father is. I'm not going to say he was, but he still is. He's still and his legacy will continue, not just because of the Shakur family, but because of all of y'all. And when I tell you I love y'all, I'm not just saying it because of the words. I'm saying it because of how y'all treat us, how the conversations that we had through the travels of me finding out who he is and then going to get him from prison, then, traveling there every other month. I mean, I have a long history in conversations that's more than just his podium right here. So I'm not going to be selfish with this time to stand up here and just really unfold a lot of this conversation. But just stay tuned. We have a lot of work to do, and we will continue pushing forward. To all of y'all, man. Top Bill. Top Bill. All praise due to Allah. And God, Jesus, and any type of entity that we definitely do support, that's what it's all about. I hope I did a blessing on tonight. I'm so down on nervous, I'm dropping the mic. Straight ahead. I love y'all. And I want to thank y'all for loving us. My beautiful family. We still here. Another thing Mutulu would say is mud and water. Mud and water. We're going to make it. We're going to be all right. The Imam told us that this is a celebration. We should be happy. We should be happy. And when I hear the children and all in the room, I know Mutulu love the kids. He would love this right now. He would love being able to play with the babies. Just stay with us, y'all. It's not easy. But we're gonna keep pushing forward with love. Hold us down, we hold you down. He got us. He got all of us. That's all.
Brother, taking come for home and come out that a week. My birthday, I turned 40. My name is Shakur. Take you come with a love. Shakur. And 20 Thursday, miss him. Amen. It is soon. I miss him too much. The thought promise you, Shakur, my brother. Amen.
these things. And in the spirit of Saladin and Miriam Shakur, who loved young people and brought them all together and shared their name, that's the legacy we move forward with. We have allowed the world to define not just the Shakurs, but who we are as a people and as a movement of people. If we take that back, we define who we are. So in the spirit of Saladin and Miriam Shakur, we are loved, we are grateful and thankful, and we embrace our own.
Drum back there, and back to live, and that's what we rock, man, she's so good. Both of the exits, and then I brought the rest of the life. Mutulu Shakur right now, it sounds like the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Just because he is organizing the other religions inside the religion. So that's not really what it is. He said to be by himself in the whole. You organize the black religions to be united, not to be Christian and black, just to be united. Follow the things you talk about. That's what it is. So I like to give my God rules to bring to life to us.
Still visualize places, and I'm promoting this, and in my mind's eye, see this place, the players going fast, and got to stop on the song, so we can walk, and love fast.
This is Shakur family. We got to do it again. Give them a strong standing ovation. One love. Mutulu is about love. Now, in the video you just saw was representation of one of Mutulu's sons, Tupac Amaru Shakur, and Isa Shakur. So we want to acknowledge them, even though they're not here with us. Let's give them a hand. Next, we're going to have some of Mutulu's, it says comrades and mentors. I'll say colleagues as well, in terms of healing our people and advancing acupuncture as a healing method. So we have, and I won't give a long introduction, just their names. They can tell you who they are. Dr. Kokaye Patterson, Dr. William Bass, who I'm grateful to be. I only seen him in a video. And Dr., my friend, my brother, personally put needles in me, Dr. Tatsu Harada. Y'all come up. Yeah, I said Dr. Bass. Okay, I said Dr. Basket. My apologies for mispronouncing your name. You know, we got colonized, and I only know Ebonics and the white man English. And that ain't too good. All right? So,
Hola, mi gente. My name is Walter Boston del Rio. I met Mutulu Shakur in 1971. We both got hired at the Acupuncture. Young boys, the Black Panthers did take over the nursing business. 6 months later, we by 71, Mutulu said, you know, we gotta get more children. This methodology is not doing it. So in 71, we created the Acupuncture Collective. And for the first time, I traveled with Mutulu to LA and met quite a few people who started my career. When we came back, we decided that we were going to incorporate acupuncture as a modality, medical modality, to detox people off of heroin and methadone. Methadone had become just as bad as heroin, so we had an epidemic of heroin, methadone, and all the other epidemics that we've had so far. I don't want to go through too much, but I just want to emphasize the fact that we need to know the chronological order of what happened. Because what happens when we don't understand the history is that people come and make up their own history. So we were deleted from the history of American acupuncture simply because someone else decided that they were going to recreate it or rediscover it. But Mutulu and I created the Acupuncture Collective, we created the Acupuncture Clinic, and we created the Acupuncture School. There's students here who graduate. There's not going to be, and we're really doing my heart. I love you, bro. Straight ahead. My name is Tatsuo Hirano, Doctor of Traditional Chinese Medicine, Doctor of Acupuncture. Dr. Mutulu Shakur was my first acupuncture teacher. And it was not only just acupuncture, it was liberation medicine, because it was linked to the struggle. And a clear distinction has to be made. It's never just acupuncture. I'm also a board member of the Black Acupuncture Advisory Association of North America. And we carry this work on. I have a poem. Although he was my first teacher, in the end, I became his personal physician in trying to improve his quality of life until the end. I have a poem I want to read to you all. It's called Straight Ahead. For the lack of being creative. "37 years of cement and tears, bulls towering over you couldn't overtake your fears. Straight ahead. Death sentence without lethal means, freedom imprisoned by cancerous gleams, for time then defined by inglorious dreams. Straight ahead. Now could this be more than ever, where all the families should come together? Must every brother and sister everywhere, can you feel this time is in your ear? Straight ahead. And common blood flows into one mighty sea where everyone can gather, everyone be seen. And the collective eye all sees not one thing. Straight ahead. July 7th, 2023, 5:40 hits world chime, surrounded by ancestors from beginning of time. Preparations, purifications to yet another paradigm. My brother, straight ahead one last time.
When I met Dr. Shakur in 1972, I had seen acupuncture being used in a drug program in Washington, D.C. I worked with the Grant Party and other groups there. And 2 years later, I met Dr. Shakur in Gary, Indiana, at the founding convention, which we call the Black Assembly. They now call the Black Caucus, where all of them folk got together and put a agenda for us. But you can see, we still work. I got my first treatment from him in 1978. Started training. I got my first treatment from him in 78.
the same. You see in both this death the Acupuncture Detox Specialist Collective that we formed. I am also a board member of BANNER. We're an official training arm for BANNER. So we've been doing this work for quite a while. The ADS Collective is in the audience. Give them a hand, please. Pioneers. I feel for one, I need to re-engage. It might be because of the 30 plus years in the penitentiary, but still I think like you. I still honor the passion to evoke empathy for the suffering and the confidence in knowing that we can have an impact and make a change as in the beginning. Not only can we confront these maladies, but create a style of work, an application that can start a new movement for healthcare. The objective is to prepare our cadre to take over the innovative application and to turn it over to the masses of the people. This will take time. We'll have to be deliberate because of our age. We need to work smarter, not harder. Our mentorships will expose new, brilliant healers on the sidelines, ready to take their place in history or our movement. The struggle will continue to thrive as a result of our determination, sacrifices, lest we forget the enemies that existed in the past. The opportunity for success or failure is still ours, stronger in some respects, but clearly identified. The shared knowledge of our past struggles should give us some advantages, and advances of social media will add to our campaign and confirm our future success. I am truly eager to hear your remarks as to the assessment as well as any correction of my thinking or vision regarding where I can best make a difference. I anxiously await getting back to the good work with you, the barefoot doctors and natural healers. Strict resistance, aim high, go all out. Dr. Mutulu Shakur, straight in.
Yes. Greetings. My name is RSTV. I met Mutulu. I first met him on the radio. On a radio station, WRFG, here in Atlanta. And Mutulu called me and was like, "Hey man, you're not playing enough pop." I was like, well, I was born in Brooklyn. So, I like big. He said, what? He said, you're not playing enough pop. And that was my introduce. That's the first time I actually even talked to Mutulu. I didn't necessarily know who he was until I went into prison. When I went into prison, first off, the way I got into prison, I want to send enough love and a shout out to Cynthia McKinney. Cynthia McKinney was a congresswoman, and the second time I went to the prison, I went in with her. The first time I went in, because I was going to see Mutulu, they put me through all kinds of changes and everything like that. And let me know why they so afraid of this man, because I didn't know anything about acupuncture, anything about all the works that he's done. I didn't know anything about him. I just thought he was a good brother that was in prison. But the fear that they had for him, and let me know, like, who is this brother? And Cynthia McKinney, the next time I came in with her and M1 from Dead Prayers. And we was able to go walk straight through. Everybody was real apologetic and really nice because Cynthia McKinney, she didn't bite her tongue. And we was able to see Mutulu and have a 2-hour conversation with Mutulu within the prison. And that started my path. I was able to become a chaplain inside the prison system because of Mutulu. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the soldiers that Mutulu had. Leo Sullivan, also known as Osiris. Please come up to the stage. When I say Mutulu had a lot of sons in prison, and he saved a lot of lives, not just lives of brothers in prison, but also of the people who were working in the prison. Mutulu was able to walk through so many different circles. Somebody was saying that Mutulu knew everybody, and was able to come forward with everybody. Come on, Bill. Was able to come forward and walk through all circles. I was representing the Rastafari group. And I would come into my group and I see Mutulu in there listening to the reggae music, dancing and skanking. And then he'll go over to the nation, and he's over in there with them. Then he's with the Moors, then he's with the Christians, and then he'll go chill out with the Crips. Right? And then the GDs. He'll walk among all these different circles. I'm just so grateful that I had an opportunity to witness Mutulu Shakur's strength. And I tell you, they tried their best to break him, and they could not. And I tell you, I'm a witness to seeing Mutulu. Like, I would come in with my own problems from the outside. I come in there and Mutulu was looking through a little small glass, smiling at me. Talking about stiff resistance after so long. I'm just so grateful that he introduced me to all of you all. Leo Sullivan, his brother right here, one of Mutulu's soldiers, stood by his side no matter what trouble was coming his way. Him, a whole bunch of other brothers as well. Strap, Ross J, Brother Kimbo Gray, that's right over here. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful.
I'm thankful and I'm honored to be here amongst you all. First, I want to say stiff resistance. A lot of people take that lightly, but Mutulu, it meant a lot because people kind of sensationalized them and they didn't really see. Some people didn't understand the struggle and the embodiment of the struggle and him being a revolutionary. You never see anything until you came in contact with a real live revolutionary. That's right. Like a real live revolutionary. I'm sorry, they would energize you, you'd be so motivated, you would die for what you believe in. You walk away, I spent 10 years of my life in Mutulu. I was a thug, I was selling drugs, I didn't want to be a part of the movement, but he pulled me up and he embodied something in me. But not just that, he came into a plantation. Nowadays they call them penitentiaries, but they're actually plantations, where people still work for labor, and it's genocide and minicide for a lot of young black men, because where I was at was the most violent penitentiary in the world, so to speak. So there was a lot of bloodshed. And I'll never forget, when Mutulu came into the plantation, he's just like an old, weary soldier with his dreads, and he just, it took me a while for us to really, start communicating, because Mutulu can't, anybody just come up to him, because he's very observant, and he has to watch you and analyze you. And he ended up being my mentor, but not just that. We were in a prison where the warden was a white supremacist, and we were all killing each other. And I spent 20 years of my life destitute on a prison penitentiary. But the moment he came in, the Crips and the Bloods stopped beefing. We saw Dr. Akayeli, Mutulu, my brother was coming in, and so many other brothers were coming in, and they changed The mindset, they changed a penitentiary. Listen, please listen to what I'm going to say. Please, this is important. He changed the penitentiary into a university. So, he changed the mindset. So now, you're not people judging. I'm not having a mindset. He made me write an essay on Asada Shakur. And I wrote this essay on Asada Shakur. And then he made me come in front of the masses and speak. I had never spoken before in my entire life. I'm speaking. I came up to the podium. There were outside guests, people came in, families and stuff like that. I froze. I knew a ball of sweat was rolling down my back. He came to my rescue, and it was just a beautiful thing. But I just want to say this. So he embodied so many of us. There's so many. Is there a student of Mutulu Shakur? Any of you, please raise your hand. Stand up. I just want to stand up. All right. My brothers and sisters, we all brothers and sisters, but there's a special bond with all of us. And even more so a bond because we come from that cloth, cut from that same cloth. Oh, okay. So he just introduced us to things that we didn't know about ourselves that energized us. And I can honestly see why he became a threat, because he was so powerful and his love was so strong. And even, he didn't see color. That was like, we'd be like, where's Mutulu at? Well, they put it back in solitary confinement. What? Because he was running upstairs. Where's Mutulu at? He's back in solitary confinement. What? They found 4 bars of soap in his locker. And as soon as he come out, he's going to the rec job. He's galvanized. He's just energized, and he never was bitter. He never came and said, I hate this group of people. He never had, any hard feelings for anyone. His sole mission in life, like he saw a tsunami coming. He saw something coming, and he was trying to rescue us and bring us together so we could be leaders of our people, so we could be the future of our people, so we could guide and help others, And so I left him. He made me write this book right here. And I wrote this book, but I sold millions of copies of this book. I made 2 films out of this book. This book is fed my family. I didn't want to write a book. Who writes books in prison? But it inspired me to write other books. I came home, I started one of the biggest publishing companies, black publishing companies in the United States. Because again, I came home with a mindset of my people. I came home embracing love. I just had so much love and so much passion. I wouldn't be standing before you today if it was not for Mutulu Shakur in my ear. So I gotta go. So, stiff resistance to say this. They would send Mutulu to Supermax. Supermax is a study technology where it puts you where you have no human contact with nobody for 4 or 5 years. A lot of times people go to those Supermaxes, they come out crazy as a sprayed roach. He never came, I can't express it. You can't see the sun, you can't see the family. They just put you in this cage and it's decided to break you. I gotta go. So it's decided to break him, but every time we saw him, it was just straight ahead, stiff resistance. You know what I'm talking about? And it hurt me to my heart because I was happy for him to come home, but I don't like how they played him because he should have been home years before he came home. He was exposed to the most extreme form of psychological warfare. You would never know it when you talk to him, but he'd been exposed to every diabolical thing under the sun, from him trying to poison his food, to him not letting his family come visit him, to him sitting all over the planet. But this is something I thought about this because I wrote this to him in 99. And I forgot about this thing. So this book is dedicated to my mentor, my best friend, in memory of his son, Tupac Shakur. But Mutulu, there aren't enough words in any language to express my love for you. My teacher, my mentor, my father that I never had. Sorry. You trusted me, you treated me like I was your own son. For me, it was a blessing to have you, to spend over 10 years of my life with you. I'm sorry, I'm because you forced my mind to go to another level, to a plateau outside the mundane box of limitations that unconsciously some blacks have been trained to think their minds from. You embraced my writing, you nurtured it, you had me writing living essays, treaties, you had me on the radio, doing poetry, speaking in front of packed audiences. I was scared to death, remember? You told me they would have to let me do it. Me and you would argue, people would walk by and see us yelling at each other. I'll never forget the day they moved me to another plantation. After all those years of being around you, I was crushed. That day I set out to write you, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. Finally, I'm here with you. I'm at the door, knock, knock. I love you, Mutulu Shakur.
I also want to send enough love out to all of the people who helped me help Mutulu. All of the ones, all of those fundraisers, all of those concerts, all of the artists that perform for free. Thank y'all for coming forward and just donating your time to helping Mutulu be free.
Okay, so next up we're going to have a musical revolutionary tribute by my Baba Bilal Sunyali. And immediate following will be the Women's Word by Baba Bilal and my other godfather, Watani Tahiba. My uncle Sekou Odega and my uncle Chewy Ferguson L. could not be with us at this time.
You're listening to collaboration between myself and other political prisoners and other supporters of political prisoners. You're only going to hear, you're not hearing the whole thing today. We promised that we're going to play the whole thing for you one day when we have more of our political prisoners out. And I promise you that we will have more of our political prisoners out. The music that you're about to hear in the next few minutes is a liberation song, which is a collaboration between myself and Gil Scott Harry, Brian Jackson, and the Midnight Band. We played the liberation song at the close, at the summation of our trial. The trial that was known as the USA versus Dr. Mutulu Shakur. But then our lawyer, the Honorable Chokwe Lumumba, renamed New Africa versus the USA. When we played liberation song in the courtroom, the judge hid himself under the table. The 9 black people on my jury, which was different from when Mutulu went to trial with an all-white jury. The 9 black people in my jury were bobbing their heads and smiling and looking at the defense table and smiling. We used this, and they came back and delivered a not guilty verdict in my case. And again, our lawyer, Chokwe Lumumba, who defended both of us, said the reason they
jury, and the all-white jury that Mutulu had. But the fact that in those few years, the political climate had changed. The state had moved to change the political climate of the nation. And so we have to change the political climate. We have to be the ones that change that political climate. I want those of you who can stand to please stand and repeat after me. We're going to say, this is the prayer that we say at the close, in the beginning and the end of each meeting of the Black Acupuncture Advisory Association of North America. And now, more than ever, all the family must be together. Every brother and sister everywhere feels the time is in the air. Common blood flows through common veins. And the common eye all sees the same. Now, more than ever, all the family must be together.
Okay, so Baba, while time is coming up, for those of you who don't know the complete history, and we're starting to share it, of the Shakur family, my Baba Bilal is a Shakur. Not all of them took the last name. His middle name is Shakur. So just want you to know, it's started to build an army in the family.
It's beautiful. Mutulu is the cause of this, the reason for this. I met Mutulu in 1973. We were young men back then. Mama and Mutulu brought him to martial arts school I was running at the Hodari Motor Center on 46th and Central Avenue in Los Angeles. That's what we're talking about. So I invited him to the class, and he shared his skills. And Brother gave a hell of a demonstration. We began to move together ever since then. It was like brothers from a different mother, but we were brothers. I didn't grow up with him, but from that point on, we rolled. We laughed together, we partied together, we struggled together, we got in trouble together. We did a lot of stuff together. No prayed, your father and I, yeah, we did all that. So, right. And I'm not saying nothing to get in trouble with either. But one thing that I saw with him is, y'all, if you look up networking, you're going to see a picture of Mutulu. If you look up a New African Revolutionary Nationalist, it's going to be Mutulu. Pan-Africans, internationalists, social, it's Mutulu. It was talk about the love that he gave. And I believe Mutulu expressed that you cannot struggle if you don't love the people. On the show, they said, if you don't love the people, one day you may betray people. Mutulu didn't betray anyone. Intergenerational. Across every section he's heard Neil talk about it. They talk about a lot of things I don't need to repeat. Because he touched everybody. And people, I tell the stories that Nobuko, one of my neighbors in Los Angeles, lived across the street from me. I'd wave at him, but Mutulu would come to town to introduce me to him. Most of the people I ended up working with later on from different formations, Mutulu was that person. He was the I don't know, the network before there was such a thing called He acted like he was using people too when he came home, right? He really couldn't go in. I think it's a little bit, but he stayed on top of everything. He was so close to technology. I think Zaire said he went to the studio with him, thought he was going to be a rapper, all kinds of stuff. Mutulu, for the last 7 months of his life, was constantly working. At one point I said, brother, slow down. He said, I got things to do. And I stopped saying that to him because I understood that he did have things to do. And he said some things, and most of them I'm going to ask y'all to help us to continue his legacy. He still had projects out there. Help to continue those projects. So, stiff resistance, straight ahead, free the land, assalamu alaikum. We rarely mention that Brother Watani was a political prisoner. We call it grand jury resistant. One of the reasons he was grand jury resistant because he wouldn't give up any information on the truth. Let's stand in no way for that. Now, we were now, and we must know, and I say this, Aisha, but most definitely Afua, Sunni Ali, Medaya, they were hard to put this together with Mama Ahadi, who's not here because of her sister's practice. We want to give you some love. Trying to get for you. In talking with Watani that Mutulu brought to those of us who call ourselves New Africans and revolutionary nationalists was solidarity, particularly international solidarity. And so one of the examples of that is the work he did with the May 19th Communist Organization. So we're going to bring up Susan Rosenberg to provide a solidarity statement from the alumni of the May 19th Communist Organization. Ashe. And some of you young white folks out there, y'all might want to talk to them so we can get more than alumni. Y'all feel me, Dr. Brother Bear? Ashe. So Susan Rosenberg, and following her sister Medaya, I want y'all to give her a strong hand when she comes up because she was a principal person putting this together. Ashe.
Free the land. Free the land. Free the land. By any means necessary. To be clear, we do, in solidarity, support that. Support self-determination up to and including self-defense and armed struggle. I have a statement that I want to read from a number of comrades who were in the May 19th Communist Organization. Back in the day, I also was no gray when I met Mutulu in 1973. I'll just read this. I know I have limited time, but I was an unindicted co-conspirator of his. I did 16 years in prison in relationship to this case, and all of us who are in solidarity, who were part of this movement, were completely moved and organized and politically led by Dr. Mutulu Shakur and Acupuncture and so many other people. So, Dr. Shakur was a central person in our political leadership. We were part of the anti-imperialist left in New York City in the decades at the end of the 20th century. Many of us met Dr. Shakur in the early middle 1970s, a time of great repression and resistance. Socialism, liberation of whole nations, anti-colonialist wars were raging on every continent. The U.S. government unleashed its armed might to overthrow legitimate, democratically elected governments, wage genocidal war in Vietnam, flood black and brown communities here with heroin, and attempt to quell liberation. There was an increase in repression by the police and a rise in mass incarceration. There was a global fight going on of which all of us, everybody, was a part of. And the same forces that were unleashed around the world were unleashed against all of us. I met, and we met, some of us, Dr. Shakur at Twyman Meyer's funeral, at the rallies outside Assata Shakur's trials from 1973 to 1977. We met him at the founding of the Prairie Fire Organizing Committee in Boston in 1975. We met him at Lincoln Detox and learned not only acupuncture, but the politics of community organizing against genocide, for human rights, the right to health care, and ultimately the right to liberation and life. We met him at law offices to examine the first Freedom of Information Act records released by the FBI after the initial exposures of COINTELPRO, and explain to us the war going on against the Black Liberation Movement and its allies, and how the allies could help expose that war plan. And basically, that's what we've been trying to do as allies ever since then. I have a lot more here. I know. I just want to say one other thing, two other things. Sorry. Dr. Shakur touched our lives and our work in innumerable ways. He brought revolutionary nationalist politics into our midst and challenged us to construct an internationalist program against white supremacy. We worked in organizations and projects that were developed in relationship to Black leadership, and everybody has mentioned them, and I'm just going to list them because the list is long. Friends of Assata and Sundiata, the National Task Force for COINTELPRO litigation and research, the National Committee to Free All Political Prisoners, Lincoln Detox, and later Banner, the John Brown Anti-Klan Committee, the Madam Bin Graphics Collective, international solidarity work that went on with South Africa, with Zimbabwe, with Namibia, and other internal colonies of the U.S. Empire, with Puerto Rico and the struggle for independence. Dr. Shakur, along with other leaders like Ahmed and Mutulu Shakur, organized us to support specific organizations within the new African independence movement, including NAPO and the PGRNA. Some of us went to prison in defense of these politics, including some who resisted grand juries but also did a lot of time. Marilyn Buck, Alan Berkman, Sylvia Baradini, myself, Linda Evans, Tim Blum, Laura Whitehorn, who's here also, Shelley Miller, Eve Rosenman, Mary Patton, Terry Gifford, Bob Lederer, Margaret Peltier. During his decades in prison, Dr. Shakur exemplified the same brilliance of organizing that he had on the street. Inside, he fought for unity and against violence. He fought to develop radical political consciousness wherever he went and with everyone he met and did time with and lived with on the street. Those of us who were inside at the same time, even in women's prisons, far from where he was incarcerated, felt the impact of his work with us behind the walls. Traveling on this road with Mutulu has been an honor and a privilege. It's been a hard road, but one of joy, and above all else, of fierce love of the people. When Dr. Shakur was released from prison, he talked about love for and of the people. He talked about the need. To move for liberation, and not as individuals, but collectively. Mutulu continues to challenge us as we strive to fulfill our unending and ongoing and continuingly to be needed solidarity with the new African independence movement, the Black liberation struggle, and with the struggle for freedom. His laugh, his passion, his creativity, and his work tells us to maintain stiff resistance, straight ahead. Mutulu, like Mutulu said, Mutulu taught me that risk to make revolution and for freedom is worth it. This is put together by signatures, Bob Lederer, Eve Rozon, Dr. Barbara Zeller, another comrade, sister, and ally, Laura Whitehorn, Susan Tipograph, a lawyer, excellent, Linda Evans, and myself. Free the land! Free the land! Free the land!
Good morning, everyone. I was going to read a few statements, but instead of reading them, I just want everybody to look into the Rebuild newspaper. All the statements that I was going to read are in here. You don't have to read them now, but I definitely want you to read them at some time. And then also in here is the Mutulushakur.com website, the CAD website, where you can send donations, because as we said, the struggle continues. And then you can also support Rebuild newspaper. Their cash app is in here as well. What I do want to do is just give praise and honor to the Creator for allowing us this opportunity to honor and celebrate an awesome leader, an awesome warrior, an awesome father, grandfather, brother, uncle, comrade to me. As a child, I heard so many great stories of Uncle Mutulu, and I don't remember everything as a child because of all the things we went through as children. But when he came home, my sisters and brother and I flew to LA and was able to hug him and sit with him. And that was the honor, to be able to come and see him, to be able to sit at his feet and hear the wisdom that he was able to share with us freely. And I'm just thankful that my cousins and us as a community are able to honor him. And I didn't put this program on with myself. I did it with my sisters, Marlena, one of my family's closest friends, and my aunt Heidi, who we all know will be here today. So I'm thankful for you all entrusting me, family, to be here and speak. And I'm thankful for just the love that we all have. And I pray that Uncle Mutulu continues to feel our love, and that we continue to build the legacy that he has left for us to build. Ashe.
Thank you all for being here and sitting through what had to happen because we have to share and tell certain aspects, so it has to be what it is. And I just wanted to say, the last time that I was able to put my eyes and my hands on my uncle was exactly 1 month before he transitioned. And to talk about a warrior, because y'all all know who he is. Y'all know they thought he was going to die as soon as they let him know, right? And he was like, no, I got stuff to do. People to see, things to do. This man was laying in a bed when I got there. He made me sit him up. I said, you don't have to sit up for me, Uncle. He said, sit me up. I sat him up. Then he stood up. I said, why are you standing? He said, because I needed to stand up. But when it's somebody who's taking care of you your whole life and who you always seen as this, he's not going to let you see him as nothing less than that. So, whew, yes, that's my uncle right there. I want to thank my cousins for sharing their father, and I know it's not easy because we are children of the revolution. So my parents, Ahmed, Fulani, and Bilal, we had to do this. We had to share them. Sometimes live without them being underground. My cousin Seth and Mo and Talib and Zinga, they lived without their father for a lifetime. That's a lifetime with him being behind the wall. So can you imagine the joy that they had for those almost 7 months? Just to be able to just sit there. You didn't have to say nothing. He's giving them treatments. Also, shout out to the ADS Collective. Acupuncture Detox Specialist Collective, which I am one. So my uncle not only taught my mother for learning acupuncture, he taught me when I was a teenager. And now I have started again because my Uncle Kakai made me, yes he did, come and do it. Me and Tom live together in the same place. So right now, we're going to bring my sister and my niece, Dr. Asante Wasuni Ali and Tohura Amasuni Ali, to close us out with Move and Whirlwind. Ashe. Free land. Free land. Free land. By any means necessary.
All right, free the land, family. Beautiful black people. Let's see if I can get this on here. That's why people were holding these. That's okay. One of my hands will be free. Let me talk about it. All right. We are singing 2 songs, Move and Whirlwind. Does anybody know who wrote those songs? So they were written by Bilal Sunni Ali. Earlier in the 8 Bowl ceremony, there was talk about Cayenne, and Cayenne representing hot and critical times. And these songs were written in hot and critical times. These are freedom songs, these are movement songs, these are songs of the struggle. I saw myself in a dream, in the distance. I was standing in a green field crying, laughing at the old world dying, happy that the earth was dying to the beat of my heart. Do you believe that our dreams are extensions of our waking moment, reflections of our waking moment. Or is the waking
a walking part of our lives, only a dream, only a dream. The second song that we'll sing is called Whirlwind. And if my mother, if Ulani Senior, we were here, I think we all know that she would be singing this song. And so we sing it on her behalf. And on behalf of all of us, right? My sister said so much earlier about what it means to be in the whirlwind, particularly children in the whirlwind. War is never easy. It's bound to bring on hardship. And war will make you weary. Reach out for me. And war will have us parting. Our path is getting distant. We might not see each other until we win. So until then, until we win, look for me in the whirlwind. Try to see my face in the whirlwind. Try to grab my hand in the whirlwind. Do all you can to help your sister woman, brother man, through the whirlwind. Reach out for me. Reach out for me. Reach out for me. Everybody put your fist in the air. For victory.
And there's one person I just saw in the audience that needs to be acknowledged. There was a big legal fight to bring Mutulu home. There were people opposed to that. It wasn't just like they said, oh, it's a good idea, let's let him out because he's old. You know, and I see his lawyer who led the charge, Brad Thompson. I've only seen him on the internet. We really need to acknowledge him.
Another lawyer.
Mark,
sisters, give me a
Alright, so the way we're going to move with food is table 2 and 3, you don't have to get up, food will be brought to you. The first table, 2 tables will go at a time. You will call your tables. The first 2 tables are going to be 1 and 4. So if you get up quietly, you're going to go out, well, not, as quietly as possible, but you're going to go out of the store, you're going to bring your food, and everyone has to remain eating in this room. So once you get your food, please bring it back to your table or your respective seat. So table 2 and 3.